So welcome to TechnoDadLife, where we build, learn, and create as a community. And on today's episode, we're going to be doing two things. So one is we're going to be installing Unionfs, and the other one is Snapraid. And so these two programs do some very interesting things. So these programs are designed if you have a sort of an array of disks. So what that array of disks means three or more disks. So when you have an array of disks, you can actually create a parody drive with Snapraid so that you can rebuild a disk if one disk fails. Unionfs, what that does is store our data on whatever drive has the least amount of data. So instead of ourselves having to go in and move things around so that each of our drives is equivalent or not full, the Unionfs does this automatically. So when you combine those two things together, what that does is even out your hard drive usage and provides a way of rebuilding any drive if one drive fails. So if you like this video, make sure you like, and if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified of new videos. And here we go now. Okay, to get started, of course, you need Openmediavault installed, and then you're going to need two other things. You're going to need to then run the update manager to make sure your systems update, and you have to install OMV Extras so that you can get the plugins. And then next we want to check our disks, make sure they're all available. So let's do that now. So if we click on disks, here you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 disks. One would be our system disk. We go over to File System, and here you can see we have disks 1 through 5 are available. So those are what we'll be using. Next we're going to go back to Plugins, and right here we're going to type Unionfs, and then we're going to hit the plus sign and then install. And yes. Once that's done, click close and OK. And now you'll notice here on the left it says Union File System, and we're going to click on that. And so what we're going to do is click Add. And so what the Union File System will do, will add several of our disks together, or you could say merge. Actually, this is merge our disks together. And with the policy here, what it's going to do is any data we put on in any of our folders will go to the disk with the most free space. So let's do that right now. So let's call this Anna, and we're going to pick 3 disks, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to click Save, and then Apply, and Yes. So now it's merged 3 disks. Okay, so next what we're going to do is go down to our shared folders, and we're going to add a new folder. We'll call that Docs, and what we're going to do is select Anna. So basically then what will happen is anytime we put a document in that folder, it will find the hard drive with the least amount of data and then actually put the document there. And then we're going to click Save, Apply, and Yes. And so now here you can see we have 2 different devices, or 2 different folders. So one uses the Anna Merge FS or Unionfs, and the other one just uses 1 disk. So you can actually do both at the same time. Next we're going to click on Plugins again. This time we're going to type in Snapraid and click the check mark and then Install, and Yes. Then click Close and OK. And now if we scroll down, we can see Snapraid has been added under our Services tab. Click on Snapraid, and what we're going to do first is click on Drives and Add Drive, and then we're going to select a drive. And so here you can see again our 5 disks plus our Anna Merge. And so we actually don't want to use that Anna Merge. We just want to back up each disk separately. the UnionFS plugin, you actually have to have 3 drives. So if you use the Ana drive instead, there wouldn't be 2 data drives and 1 parody drive. So what we're going to do is 1 disk at a time. So first we'll do number 1 there. And we'll call this one Christoph. So for our data drives, we want to add 2 things. So first we want to mark data. So that's, again, where the data is stored. But we also want to mark content because that provides the checksums that then we use with our parody disk. So we'll click on content and data and then click save. So we'll add 2 more data disks after we click apply and yes. And so next what we'll do is we'll add a parody drive. And so for this one we'll call this Elsa. And we don't want to click content or data, we just want to click parody and then we click save. And then so if we have an extra disk, we can actually create an extra parody drive. So each extra parody drive basically provides us with the extra insurance. So if we lose 1 drive with just the 1 parody drive, then we can replace that drive. If we lose 2 drives, we're sort of out of luck. But if we have 2 parody drives, then we can actually lose 2 disks and still be able to build our data back. So next what we're going to do is make it so this backs up our data automatically. And so you can see you could click sync here or one of these other things to get started. And if you want to know what these are, click on information and it will basically tell you what each of those different options do. But what we're going to do so this happens automatically, we're going to scroll up to schedule jobs and click on that. Click add. And so for us, you can have the Snapraid sync run at different times. So you can select a day, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or at reboot. And so basically I would do hourly if you're changing a lot of data. Daily, not so much data. Weekly, if you have your drives are like a media server where the drives don't really change that much because you have movies or music or other things on there. Or you can even put it monthly, yearly. I don't really see the point, but we're going to put it on daily. I'm going to leave it as root. And we're going to type in Snapraid sync. And then we're going to click save. And so what this will do is have our Snapraid sync run once per day. Next we're going to click on that and then actually we're going to click run and start. And so this executes the sync job for the first time. If you have lots of data on your disk, this could take days. Since I don't have anything on there, it's already finished. And then we'll click close. And now this will run automatically. So there's a brief tutorial about Snapraid and Unionfs. They work great together. And if you like this video, make sure you like it. If you found it helpful, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified of new videos as they come out. And have a great day. Bye-bye.